Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's Wednesday night after week one. Is the preseason over yet? We'll discuss that and much, much more tonight. Joining me tonight, we have Bear Fan Dan. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening.
Billy, the fence guy, the king of tailgates. How are you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Could be better.
And the one I can't wait to hear from later, Woody Bear Down. Woody. And of course, always we have Mike the Bear Fan doing his producer thing. He'll be joining us in a second, as well as a few special guests from the frozen tundra. We have Ken and we have JR waiting in the green room right now, drinking green beer, commiserating their victory Sunday. Let's just get right at it. We have to show it. There we go. There's your final score. It felt much worse than that, but pictured is the right man there in Aaron Jones. Week one, 38-20 home loss at Soldier Field. And, of course, we'll get some reaction from Packer fans here in a minute. But before we do, let me throw it around the horn to our regular folks. I'll start with you, Dan. What were your thoughts of the game on Sunday?
Disappointing. I thought it'd be a much better game in that the offense looks so-so. The line didn't look good to me. Was surprised didn't see much more out of DJ Moore in that. The defense looked all right. He had TJ Edwards led the defense in tackles and all that. But that was about it there. Gave up 38 points. That's about it. Just disappointed.
So, Billy, you were there, and we had you on the Sunday morning show, streaming the tailgate. Looked awesome, by the way. Saw you were hanging out there with Samantha and some other folks.
Yeah.
What was the energy like before the game, and then what was it like at the game?
Dude, beginning of the game, man, like you had high hopes. You were just it was wonderful, dude. It's Bears Packers home opener, in Chicago, man, and it was awesome, dude. Electrifying, man. It was depressing though, man. That was bad to see. It's just like but I don't know. It's like it could have been anybody else. I wouldn't be upset, but it was the Packers, and it was just like, come on, man. I'm like, I had to sit through it through Favre. I got to sit through it through Rodgers. Are you telling me Love's going to do it to me too? So it's just like, depressing, man. All around, man. So hopefully they can come up. Hey, it's week one. I'll be there still. So I just hope they take directions.
What was the difference in the mood, though, between the end of the first half and then about midway through the third quarter? Was there a huge shift in the stadium?
Soon as it started going downhill, and then like the third, it was just like, here we go again. And yeah, it was bad, man. I'm talking about before the fourth quarter, people were just leaving. I'm like, I don't believe the booing. Oh man, that was just something. It was just like it's you boo because it's just like you're throwing to the. We've seen this before. Runs out, go to the end zone. Stop going east and west. It's just like, come on. Go that way. It's just throw a ball. It was just booze after booze. It was just like it was depressing, man. It sucks. It sucks when you gotta leave that stadium like that. It's just like you had high hopes.
Hey, Billy, I guess
hopefully they pick it up.
Hey, Billy, I guess this was one of those weeks where you stayed at the end of the game to beat traffic.
Yeah, that's basically it. But see, they had a taste of Chicago at the same time, so you were pretty much fucked, dude. You might as well just sat there, enjoy the weather, and just wait till like 9 o'clock. Just to leave because it was horrible.
So at least you got some good food afterwards out.
Oh yeah, dude, food that was phenomenal, dude. Especially how we do it at the tailgate, dude. We fed everybody from like 7, 8 in the morning, man. I was on the grill, man. I was feeding everybody, man. It was cool as hell, man. It was like it was electrifying in the beginning, man. It was just like it always is what it is, man. It's always nice. Like I said, depressing what was on the field. Hopefully they can pick it up.
Well, one guy who didn't get the tailgate because he lives in Pennsylvania At least not the Bears game, and you didn't have to worry about going to Taste Chicago and getting that good old Eli's cheesecake as Woody. Woody, I know you've been waiting for it. Let's hear it, brother.
2 words, fucking terrible. Say it again, fucking terrible. I mean, this is one of the, I know it's the first game of the year. It's your division rival that beat you many, many games in a row. You should be up for it. It's just like Justin, it's not all Justin Fields' fault, but on the offense, but majority it is. Him staring down receivers and that screen pass to Devontae Foreman, he was just staring them down and easily 7-yard loss. Just terrible. That 4th down right in the first quarter in our own end. I don't know what they were doing. So the only bright spots, Yannick had a sack, and Santos perfect on the day. That's the only 2 bright spots. But all over offense, defense, we sucked. And now with the injury of Kyle Gordon, it's going to get even worse.
Yeah, for me, well, the Stevens hit in the first quarter. Well, I was like, okay, he kind of set the tone. And for me, though, the whole game came down to the very first freaking drive. 4th and 1 in your own territory, week 1, game 1, or week 1 of the season, and you go for it after you failed on 3rd and 1. Like, dude, punt the ball. Now, look, I get it. If they get the 4th and 1, you look like a genius and you have this huge momentum, blah, 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 but you didn't, and it set the wrong tone for this team and the offense for the rest of the game. Because then, like Woody, you're right. What do we see after that? Nothing more than 3 yards. I'm so tired of this. Justin gets the ball, immediately looks right, and throws it to a receiver 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or a little dump pass on a screen out that's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They refuse to go vertical. Vertical at all. They refuse to push the ball downfield. I mean, isn't this why we got DJ Moore? Isn't this why we got Chase Claypool? Isn't this what Mooney does? Isn't this why we got the running backs we got? Isn't this why we paid Cole Kmet big money to catch the ball? I mean, we were doing the live broadcast of the game, and even the chat, people were saying the same exact thing. When is this offense gonna stop playing like a bunch of junior high kids who can't throw the ball more than 5 yards? Fields has an arm. We've seen it. We know he can loft that ball 30, 40, 50 yards, whatever. He can throw the long ball. Why don't they do it more? The offensive line did a decent job in the first half. He had time. They weren't getting the field. And yet we still saw 2-yard dump pass, quick turn, look at the receiver. The offensive play calling sucked. And Woody, you're right. Staring down the receiver. Maybe he's staring him down because he's so uninspired by this shit show of a crap offense they've installed that he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to stare it down because everyone knows we're going to do it anyways. So what does it make a difference? The ball's on my hand in 1.2 seconds. My stat for that's going to look great. That's where we're at. Now, defensively, we started out okay. I like some of the stuff with the new linebackers. I like some of the stuff we saw with some of the additions. But how many of their big plays in this game were broken coverages with dudes wide the hell open? No one around them for 10, 20 yards. Wide open. Even by like playground standards. NFL standards, what? Wide open is maybe no one within 3 to 5 yards. These guys were wide open. So
it reminds you of the old Roger Cobb play where it was just Cobb by himself.
And to piggyback on that, Ken, about blown coverages, we have one of our captains that's supposed to stay his ass in the center of the field, and Dobbs burned him on the center of the field. Eddie Jackson, big disappointment on that fucking touchdown pass.
Now look, in the first half, the defense played okay. I won't say they played good. They played okay Jordan Love gets the first touchdown when we give him the ball in our 40. Kind of expect that. If you're Green Bay, you have to do that kind of thing if you think you're going to win the game. and credit to them, they converted that into 7 points, right? The rest of the half, the Bears defense played really good, kept Green Bay to basically nothing, right? 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, field goal late. Okay, good. They played well. Second half, though, totally different defense. They just blew. So, yeah, for me, the game overall was just a complete shit show come the second half. Credit to Aaron Jones, who single-handedly wrecked the game. We knew we'd see him. We talked about it before the game. We talked about it last Wednesday. Aaron Jones is everything Green Bay has needed. And, so with that, I'll go to producer Mike for the last of the Bears takes before I start bringing some Packer fans in. Mike, what were your thoughts on the game as we watched Sunday?
Well, I said it all last year. Only thing I can add to what all you guys said is there was absolutely no second half adjustments for the Bears. I don't know to blame the whole game on coaching, play calling, Fields being afraid to go downfield. Like, if it's not designed, I heard it was designed to go downfield. He just didn't take them. There was a couple plays, Kmet was wide open, and he didn't even see it. He's got the check down, but you got to have faith in your receivers. He's got to let the ball fly.
DJ Moore was wide open twice. DJ Moore. He was open twice.
Right, and he only had 3 balls thrown to him with only 2 catches.
Yeah.
For 25 yards.
Number 1 wide receiver, and you're only having 3 targets to him.
And they were double teaming a lot. There was a lot of one-on-one. You got to trust the receiver, man. You got to throw the ball.
It could be more. It's mostly Justin Fields, but then on top of it, the play calling was just fucking horrendous.
Yeah, but we were number 1 rusher, pretty much rusher lead last year. Why aren't we running the ball? We threw 37 times. All of our running backs only got 63 total rushing yards.
Yep.
And
I think Fields.
There was a bright spot. I think Roschon Johnson looked great in the game when he played. For me, that's a highlight. Is Roschon?
Yeah.
I think, and I said it during the podcast during the game. I think within a couple weeks, Roschon is the number 1 in Chicago, and I love what this kid has done at running back. He is a bright spot from this game. He really showed that he can carry it. That he can do what needs to be done as an NFL running back.
I want to see a little more. He only had 5 carries. 4 yards a carry. Got his first touchdown run. You know what I mean?
Big hit.
But in the second half, I don't know what happened, but we held him to 100 total yards in the whole first half. And then the second half was all Aaron Jones just took it over. And it wasn't rushing. It was more receiving. It was like duo. He had 83 yards receiving and not even 50 rushing.
Yeah, but a lot of that 83 yards was on that one catch. That was probably a 4 or 5 yard pass that he then turned into a monster play, which is all credit to Aaron Jones. And actually, it brings me to an interesting point, though, because I know Packer fans will talk about Jordan Love's, he had X amount of passing yards, and we talk about it with our quarterbacks. I think there should be delineation in a quarterback stat line for actual on receiving yards. It should be broken down by yards thrown versus yards after the catch done by the player receiving the ball, because I think in some of these plays like that Aaron Jones play, really it was Aaron Jones's skill that got them the 50, 60 yards after, because he shed a couple tackles early and then broke it. It shouldn't be a positive stat as much for Jordan Love as it should be more for Aaron Jones. And I think running back, especially the devaluation of running backs in this league, he should get credit for that as a running back versus credit going to the quarterback. But that's an argument for a different day. Let me switch this over here a little bit. I'm going to bring JR in right now from Frozen Tundra and my buddy Ken, who I haven't seen in a while. It's good to see you both again. Let me go to JR, who was with us last week. JR, what were your thoughts on the game Sunday?
Man, I loved it. Overall, I loved it all. Aaron Jones is a beast. Still owns you guys. Jordan Love, I give all the credit to Aaron Jones. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I give all the credit to Aaron Jones. Jordan Love, he showed up. He did pretty good to me. He did pretty good. Our defense was stepping up. They stepped up pretty good. Overall, I liked the game. I loved it. So we won.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I guess it'd be kind of hard to
You guys
find a
whooped
Packer
their
fan
ass.
who didn't like the fact that you won. But what, as I'll ask you the same question as Billy, though, like first half versus second half. Coming towards the end of that first half, I don't think you were as excited as you are now.
Oh no, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It was like, cringing moment right there. We was like a low scoring game at first, and then the second half came out, and then Aaron Jones completely took the game over. Then he threw a pick six, and then it just totally turned on you guys. I don't know what happened, but we just totally took the whole game over.
Yeah,
So,
and John Dorn, who was with us last week. Good evening, John.
How's it going, guys?
What was your thoughts on your victory on Sunday?
Just like I told you last week was going to happen. You can get an ass whooping. Woody came on and congratulated me right away, man. He texted me right away. It was kind of cool of him.
Yep, I don't ghost, pal.
No. He got me right away, right after the game. But I don't know. I told you about Fields. He's a garbage. He's a bust, man. You guys got to get rid of him. He's done. I mean, 3 years. I mean, look at the way he fucking controlled that fucking offense like crap. Look at this number 10. He comes out there and he looked pretty damn good. You guys gotta say that. He looked pretty damn good.
Can I add something to your thing
I
there?
agree.
Fields definitely needs to go downfield for sure. Did you know he was 65% or 64.8% of his throwing? And
That was short.
55. Yeah, all short. He wouldn't go downfield, which I said that a little.
The his yardage came in actually in the garbage time towards the end. We had a second and third stringers in fourth quarter.
And John, I'll give you some credit because Love did look comfortable and he looked like he was in command, whereas Fields maybe did not look as comfortable or in command. And I'll give you credit on that one. And then Ken, it's been a while, my friends. Good to see you. It's been
nice seeing you again too.
It's been a minute. What was your take on week one defeating of the Bears?
Oh, I thought the game was honestly going to be closer than it was. I figured your defense was going to perform a little bit better, but I don't think Fields has it at all. Like, he seems very gun shy to where Love, he wants to rip it. And that could be with learning the offense without being just thrust in, here you go. Because I kind of wonder if maybe Fields is ruined from the couple of bad years that he's had. And he seems way too worried about getting intercepted is what I'm thinking it is.
You know, Ken, I mean, there's something to be said that, like Matt Nagy might have ruined Mitch Trubisky, right? Especially year 2, 3. And maybe he ruined Fields as a rookie. I mean, I could see that argument, and we've seen it.
Because if Fields wasn't gun shy and actually could throw the ball confidently, he's one hell of an athlete. I'll give him that. He'd be terrifying. But right now, if you lock down his running game and the quick reads, you don't got to worry about him. He's got a cannon for an arm, but he's not using it.
Ken, I have to kind of agree based on what we've seen so far this season at least.
Granted, it's one game, but that was a hell of a game.
And that's the thing that, if you look at, and I'll bring myself up to full screen so you can read my tag if you didn't see it, where am I? There you go. Is preseason over yet? Because to me, it wasn't just with the Bears. League wide, we didn't really. We saw this with a lot of teams. Look how bad of a game Joe Burrow had at Fantasy Owners.
Oh yeah, I had him on fantasy, and he gave me crap.
Look at across the league, some really good teams that did really poorly.
Yeah, like I was surprised how bad the Giants did.
Oh God, 40-0. I mean, I don't even know why I watched the whole game. I should just turn it off.
I honestly expected the Giants to put up a lot better fight. I figured the Cowboys were going to win, but come on, you didn't even show up on the field. It was worse than what the hell we did to you guys.
Well, let's look at the stats from this game here. I mean, I wish we could have broken it down between first half and second half, but we didn't. We just did total. I mean, look at Green Bay dominates all the stat lines except for rushing yards, which is ironic considering Aaron Jones wrecked the game himself.
You can't add either.
We had more first downs. We ran more plays.
Only 3 third downs? Wow, that ain't good.
Now,
And we had 311, not
if
211.
you look at third down conversions, your efficiency was ridiculous. And our, I mean, you know, it's funny because, like, you know, hey, we, as a fan, you're like, okay, if it's 3rd and 3, you're like, well, you know, okay, it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Teams that do pretty well. As a fan, though, when you see, like, oh, it's 3rd and 11, you're juiced, right? Like, yeah, we got them. Dude, as a Bears fan, I'm like, the opposite is true. What's 3rd and 11? It's like, oh, they're going to get a first down. And it happened every long 3rd down. You guys converted. The short ones you didn't. The long ones you did.
Yeah.
What I
Yeah.
am surprised that you guys went for it at 4th and 1. Dude.
There's another issue too, is the penalties. Braxton Jones, it's like his first year. He had how many penalties on Sunday? I heard his name, 3-4 times?
3 times. 3 penalties. Yep.
Unbelievable. He's
And
my
last
fucking dud.
You know, your new offensive lineman at right, I thought he did actually a pretty decent job, I thought, against Preston and Gary and all them. I thought he did all right.
Well, I mean, Rashawn Gary didn't play as much. But
No,
I mean,
he only played 12 snaps.
Braxton Jones.
It was Inabari.
Braxton Jones might have had 3 flags thrown on him the whole year last year. And that just goes back to this whole thing of preseason. We don't see the starters enough. We now have gone from 4 preseason games to 3. And now we have one single cut that teams have to make at the end of the preseason instead of the staggered cuts. I think we saw the starters less in this preseason than we might have seen even 4 years ago. And I think we're seeing the results of that on the game field come week 1 of the regular season. And also look at some of the major injuries that occurred in week 1. And think about, as a fan, go back the last 2 or 3 years, how many major injuries have we seen the last 2 or 3 years in week 1 versus the time before when we had the 4-game preseason and starters played more and prepared and had harder camps. Aaron Rodgers gone for the season. DK Dobbins from
the running back, yeah.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, there are a lot of huge injuries. So I'm wondering if some of that has to do with the lack of preseason.
I could definitely see that argument there. And that's what I was kind of worried about a bit when they had reduced the preseason games down from 4 to 3, is that you're not giving these guys enough time to get their body acclimated to taking this kind of punishment. Now, granted, Rodgers, I would think even if you had 4 preseason games, that one was going to pop. It just, the way that the angle was of it, and he supposedly was having calf issues, which made it a hell of a lot more likely to happen.
It's all money. That's why they added that game and took the preseason away.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Those TV contracts are making a lot of the decisions for us.
Yep. What teams are doing now, they're during the with the camps, they're having the other teams come in and doing and playing against each other, you know, before their preseason games.
Yeah, the joint practices. I like that they've picked that up.
Some of them do 2 of them, you know, 2 teams, you know, 2 out of their 3. And get all their shit done then.
Let me make a quick transition here, and I think, I don't know if Dan, if you have them for both teams, but studs and duds. Let's talk studs and duds of this game, and Dan, I'll go to you.
Well, one of the studs has to be T.J. Edwards. I mean, he had 14 tackles, 6 of them were solo in the game. I'm quickly looking it up here.
You're right.
Dud had to be, to me, a dud had to be the offensive line. I mean, they sacked Justin Fields 4 times. Our rushing, 122 yards rushing total, and almost half of them were by Justin Fields.
Let me go around with that, and I'll go to Woody next. Woody, who are your studs and duds this week?
Well, my stud is Santos. Congratulations on being the only perfect player on that fucking team on Sunday. I know it's the whole offense, but these penalties killed us. My dud is Braxton Jones. That's it.
Okay.
Done.
Mike?
My stud is with Dan, TJ Edwards, even though our linebacking core is real good. And I'm going to say my dud is defensive line for giving up about 4.5 yards per carry. Like, yeah, our linebackers are good, but, man, our defensive line going to do something? Yeah, Yannick had a sack and all, but it's got to be better.
Yep.
All right, Billy, who are your studs and duds this week?
Man, it's rough.
Hey, Billy, your stud was the van in the background.
I heard it. But you know what? I kind of liked Roshan Johnson. Yeah, he looks like something. That's going to be my stud. And my dud is, I'm going to say Herbert, because look what Aaron Jones. I mean, hey, we were playing the season. You're going to dump the ball, that tackle, and just boom, gone. It's like, come on, dude, you do it. He's not our number one back, man. So he's
that hurts, Billy. I love you, but that's fucking.
Man, he don't got it, man. He's not. Hey, he's good, but he's not a number one.
I'll go for my stud. I'll kind of echo Billy and go with Roshan. I thought he did really, really well in this game. He's continuing to prove why we drafted him and why he's going to be, I think, a good running back in the league. My dud, the rest of the team. It's hard to find a bright spot. I mean, that includes the coaching staff. Lack of ingenuity, lack of making, adjustments, shitty play calling on offense from the very first series on. Complete and utter failure across the board, uninspired football. There were a couple, moments, but yeah, that's where I'm at. And this was where it should be interesting. I'll go to my brother Ken first. So Ken, wait, before I go to Ken, hold on. I'm sorry. And I'll say one thing though: the overall stud of the game, the stud of studs, the crown stud, the studliest stud of them all, Aaron motherfucking Jones. Yep. That dude single-handedly destroyed, wrecked, changed that entire game himself. He is what created everything else that Jordan Love was able to do the rest of the second half. He took anything the Bears were going to do and threw it right in the trash can. Aaron Jones, my man, you are the stud of that game. And with that, Ken, I hope I didn't steal too much of your thunder. I'll go to you.
It's got to suck to have one Aaron go and the next Aaron just shove it down your throat. But obviously, Aaron Jones was the stud, but I'm going to go with Jordan Love, that he really had won me over, because I wasn't ready to say, he's going to be the absolute best, Hall of Fame 3 times in a row. But showing this here, it's got me a lot more hopeful. And from what I've seen, I think he's the guy. Now, the dud from our team is Rudy Ford. I could not believe some of the bonehead plays. Yeah, I could not believe some of the bonehead plays that he made.
I agree.
Granted, he's a ball hawk, but he's got to get better.
JR, how about you, studs and duds?
Oh, man, my stud is going to be Romeo Dobbs. That's going to be my stud. I love Romeo. He burnt Eddie Jackson, and we're good about that.
Hey, JR, that was blown coverage.
I don't care. Still count it.
It was the longest 26 yards of his career.
Hey, still count it, buddy. 2 touchdowns and he blew
I
him out.
agree. 2 TDs. That was good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Romeo Dobbs, and then like he said, Rudy Ford. I'm gonna hop on that too. Yeah. I agree.
And for our next guest, I have a special music.
Hey, you said something intelligent
Take
last
it away,
week.
my friend.
You said something intelligent last week. He was very close to that final score.
Yep.
Garbage point at that end. Did you say 38-13?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So who are your studs and duds, John?
Okay, I'm gonna start with my duds. I'm gonna start with Josh or Myers, our center. He fucking had a poor game. I thought he did good, but he did bad too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got two studs. One is Joe Barry. 28 fucking stunts. You only averaged 7 last year. He came with a fucking vengeance. He's aggressive, and I like this fucking defense.
Yep.
The other stud is Bakhtiari, flipping off the bird to the fucking Bears fans. That's my stud.
Did he get hurt doing that?
No, he had a big smile on his face.
Hey, you know what? Here's another takeaway from this game. You guys are in Green Bay have obviously some new special teamers, and I'll tell you what, after that field goal in the first half, you're like, who was the old guy?
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, I got a question for everybody quick.
Yeah.
Now, I know, I heard Jordan Love, Dobbs, and all that shit as studs and stuff like that, but you only can pick one. Pick one. Do you think the Green Bay is that good? Or Bears were that bad? You only can pick one. You can't say both.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Bears are that bad.
Thank you.
That play calling of you guys is you're coaching this play calling,
and that's from your fucking team.
Yeah, I think we're good, but I don't think we're quite as good as the drubbing we put on you. I expect us to be in a lot of games this year, whether we win or lose. Hey, as long as Love shows he's competitive, I'm hopeful for the future.
I agree.
Green Bay's that good.
What about a question for the Bears fans? What were your thoughts on Jordan Love after this first game?
Well, that just leads to my question.
I mean, look, in the first half, he came out after the turnover on downs, and it was 40 yards, and it looked pretty good. The rest of the half, he was pedestrian at best. The second half, he got a lot of wide open receivers. I mean, he should hit those. So I don't think the Bears defense tested him enough to make him make hard decisions in the game. In the first half, Bears defense played pretty good. Jordan Love was pretty ineffective overall. In the second half, when our defense was a shit sandwich, he looked like a god. So honestly, I think the biggest test for Jordan Love wasn't week one because the Bears didn't give it to him. I think this Atlanta defense, which looked pretty damn good against Carolina last week, might be his first real test.
I agree.
See, Ken, John just hit it on the nose, and I was just going to say that too. We did not blitz a lot on Sunday.
You blitz hardly at all.
No,
you only got two pressures. You only got two pressures in the sack.
And that's play
call. Line was holding. I mean, they were doing.
I don't want to hear excuses. Didn't get called.
Well, I'd like to add to. I agree with Ken to a point. Like, yeah, there was a lot of bads, but you can't take that away from Love. It was his first game. He went 55%, which was average. But I mean, he had 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, and damn near 250 yards.
Yeah, you know what? Every game that he plays against us always has an interception and a fumble. Every game he's
not scared to throw the ball. That's it. I mean, we were doing the same thing. We were dumping, but you had Jones tearing it up, but he was also trying his shots, and they were there. He was throwing passes more than 15 yards, 10 yards.
And I'm up for a quarterback that's going to take a couple of gambles. Yeah, if he misses a few, oh well. And even if he threw an interception here or there, that's the thing that bothered me about Rodgers is he was almost allergic to interceptions. Granted, it's nice not to turn the ball over, but I want a little bit more chance into it.
Well, you know what I want to see the Bears do this weekend? I want to see the Bears actually open up their playbook and give Buck and Fields a chance and throw it down.
That's right. I want to see that too.
This game looked like got all the tools and all the weapons for it, and y'all need to let that dude do it.
That's all.
How it all played out and how it looked like Jay Cutler again. Well, at least Jay Cutler, he threw interceptions, but because he threw that, he tried to trust Barstow. He tried to throw it. But this is what it looked like. Screen, dump play. All right, I'm going to start throwing it deep. We just didn't throw it deep.
Hey, fucking Favre making a living fucking throwing interceptions. He's still fucking good.
I was going to say, that's why I don't mind somebody who takes a chance. I grew up with Favre.
So Billy, since I've got you here, let me throw this up here, and Ken and some of the other guys you've talked about this. I mean, Luke Getsy, right? I mean, is this not exactly what we're talking about? He has to make better play calls. He has to throw it down the field. I mean, isn't that part of the problem? And maybe if he gets more adventurous, maybe we see an awakening of Justin Fields.
We're hoping.
You don't want to hear my answer.
I mean, but I think that what the Packer guys have all said, and Ken started it off down there, is right. It's like the Bears, like, look at Aaron Love was not afraid to sling the ball. If he makes a mistake, he makes a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Ken said it earlier. It looked like Fields is gun shy. I know a couple of us have said it, and the play calling kind of lends to that. I think the play calling needs to be forced where he has to throw it down more. And you know what? So who cares if you put the ball 40 yards downfield and throw an interception? In today's NFL, that's just as good as a punt.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know,
right?
and you might get a PI out of the deal too, even.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, look, guys, Packer fans, it's great to have you on. It was not the best week 1 war week we could have hoped for. Now look, we'll reconvene here for week 17.
We'll
Come
see
back.
you then, man.
I
We'll
think
see how
by
that
week
one goes.
17
Yeah, that's right. We'll see how it goes.
By week 17, I hope we see a much better football game in general
Yeah.
than what we saw this Sunday for both our team's sake. Because look at minus the Lions going into KC and pulling out the one to steal. If there was a team that was going to beat KC to steal a game, it was going to be the Lions on banner night. They did just that. The Vikings are who we thought they were, right? To quote Coach Green, they are who we thought they were. So the rest of the division's up for grabs. Which one of us is going to actually turn it? And we'll see by week, hey, week 17 war week might actually mean something this year if our season turns around for the better and you guys can maintain. So thank you guys once again for being on.
Good game,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Good
Thank
game,
you for
guys.
having us.
Yep.
For everyone else,
Definitely good being on.
Frozen Tundra Network, John Dorn, correct me if I'm wrong, is every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central.
Yep.
So go and see them. Once again, gentlemen, great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Good game.
Good game. All right. Well, hey, let's move forward with our season, and let's talk about this. This is next week, week 2 matchup. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who they looked good against Minnesota. Now, Minnesota has a crap defense. We all know they have a crap defense. It was a close game. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'll go to Billy first. Billy, what do you think for this upcoming week 2?
Man, I hope they change their play calling, man. I mean, that's it. If they hopefully they can change something, man. I mean, if they're coming out with the same old garbage, it's going to be another ass whooping. So I mean, hopefully there's that ball, and let's see what you got to throw that ball, man. And I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough.
I like it. I just love, like, Billy, you just sum it up, facial expression, all, like probably every Bears fan out there right now. Because I mean, it's not that we don't love our Bears,
tough,
we do.
Man, I mean, like I said, it was the Packers. It was a home opener. It's like it's hard to swallow, but you're back to
the Minnesota thing. I was in a pool, and I was the only one to pick the Bucs just because I've been saying all offseason they lost a lot of defense and they gained just a little. They were dead last year in the whole league for defense. They're going to be there again this year. And I believe this is their regroup week, so I don't think Tampa Bay is going to be easy, but I think we can pull it off, especially if the play calling's better. It's got to be.
Might tear us up.
Woody, are you as exuberant as Mike is about this week?
Oh no, I never am. Nope. Listen, we have Bucs. They impressed me last week. Minnesota was a 5.5 point favorite, and I thought, with Baker Mayfield, against Kirk Cousins, Minnesota has us in the bag. It looks like we're going up against an equal defense or even a little bit better defense in Green Bay on Sunday. Plus, on the offensive side, is that who's going to cover Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? That we got to get to Baker, and plus we got to keep Baker in the pocket because he is very mobile. So we're going to have a problem on Sunday if we play like we did last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dan. I mean, oh crap, there we go. Yeah, Dan. I mean, it's got to be. What are you thinking for this next game against Tampa Bay? In Tampa, right? Yeah, in Tampa.
Yep.
In Tampa.
Yep, in Tampa.
Gotta see more. Gotta see more out of fields, and that pass the ball downfield more to Moore, Mooney, whoever. Hopefully, the running game gets going too. Our offensive line blocks better, and that hopefully Fields will be able to get the ball off, and that defense get pressure on Baker Mayfield basically. And as you said, got to guard the receivers. Now, what's his name? Kyler Gordon's out 6 to 8 weeks now with the broken hand. So next guy up's got to step up.
The other thing I wanted to point out, I'm sorry again, is that we had more first downs, we had more time of possession, we had more total plays, and we get hammered like that. So do the math on what we fucked up on Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, for me coming into Sunday, first off, Baker Mayfield. Look, it's not that he was ever is not a bad quarterback. I mean, look what he did to the Cleveland franchise, who, by the way, just shellacked, thumped.
I have Joe Burrow in fantasy, please. Stop.
You know, I mean, they made Cincinnati a perennial favorite now to win the division look like they couldn't beat a high school team. So, but I mean, Baker Mayfield's not a bad quarterback. And he played pretty good against the Vikings. And look, he can beat you. He will throw that rock. He will beat you, especially if you blow coverages like we did this Sunday. So for me, I think there has to be changes made in what the coaches do. And personnel, of course, but I think the defensive scheme was shit last week. I think the play calling was shit last week. Throw the damn rock, Getsy. Get it downfield. Force Field to go on field. And you know what? Honestly, the offensive line, I don't blame them for playing terribly in the second half because everything is so short. I mean, it's got to be a confidence sucker for them too when you're doing that. I mean, give the offensive line something to be proud and give them something to boost their morale. Just the crap that we're doing. Have a good one, Billy. The crap that we're doing is just that crap, and we definitely need to do better there. And I agree with Mark. We got to pressure Baker. We got to pressure every quarterback. It's the same old song and dances last year. And until we see different, we had the preseason hype of all of 18 plays from the first team offense and about the same from the first team defense. We were all so hyped. Come week one, same shit, different year.
The play. This is the thing, though. We see the plays on TV. Is Justin Fields, when he throws the ball, is he only looking at one receiver? And what's the play? Is it a long pass? Is it a screen pass? Is DJ Moore his number one look? Is DJ Moore his number two look? We don't know that. But Getsky's got to – I'm telling you, all these coaches are on the hot seat, and I guarantee by the end of the year.
Hey, Woody, I don't disagree with you, but I mean, as we're watching the game, though, and as they often do, these guys, the commentators point that crap out, though, too. Like, look how open DJ Moore was downfield. And sometimes say, but maybe he didn't see him because of X or Y or whatever reason. But, I mean, even watching replays of certain plays, like there was one, he went to the short option who was more covered than the longer option, which was open. So that's why I tend to agree with some of the Packer fans on this, where it's like he's gun shy, because I think it was one play he went to Cole Kmet, but he had DJ Moore or someone else open downfield,
I don't know, but DJ Moore's face on the bench said it all.
Oh yeah.
It did look like when he did hike the ball, he was focused in one spot and one spot only for sure. Like you gotta keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like Fields' quick turn to run sometimes is starting to irk me. That fumble, I mean, dude, throw the ball away sometimes. I mean, sometimes when he runs, like we get excited, oh, you got a first down. And yeah, okay, he's gonna fumble, like anyone who runs the ball is gonna fumble the ball every so often. Right, it happens. I get it. But I mean, sometimes I'm like, I don't know. A couple of the runs he really had no choice but to get out of the pocket. They weren't bad, but there were like one or two, and I'm like, you could have given your receivers more of a chance. And I think that also it makes his offensive line lose a little confidence when he does it as much as he does. Like, honestly, it would be better for him to take a bad sack to get his offensive line fired up. Well, then, I had to bail you guys out again by running.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a problem Sunday. Like I said, their defense it impressed me. It impressed me Sunday against Minnesota. You know, Minnesota has a high-powered offense.
Yeah.
So I think we're in trouble. I really do.
I mean, look at the thing about Tampa, where a lot of people thought Tampa would lose games, wasn't because of their defense. Last year they had secondary issues because their entire secondary was hurt before week one even started. Right? They were signing guys off the street who hadn't played in 3 years just to get bodies on the field. Their defense, White is a monster at linebacker. They've got some really talented defensive players. The rub on them coming into the season is like, well, Brady's gone, and you went out and got Baker, and that's all people have talked about. And Baker, like I said, not a bad quarterback. They have a very good defense. And Woody, you're 100% right, because that offense in Minnesota last year was averaging, 35, 38 points a game. Yep. High-powered offense. Even with losing Dalvin Cook, they were slinging that rock last year. And this is where I kind of agree with Minnesota fans. Yeah, he got you 1,500 yards, but he missed so many games last year. In those games, they still put up the points. So their argument wasn't a totally bad argument about losing Dalvin Cook, because they were able to still put up big points without him. Good offense in Minnesota. Tampa Bay shut him the fuck down.
And I think Antoine Winfield Jr. had a pick six last week. And speaking of pick six that Quay Walker had for Green Bay, can our offensive guys fucking tackle, please? Okay, when the other team has the ball and they're running, even though you're offensive player, you can wrap the guy and tackle him. It's okay, douchebags.
You're right.
Fucking bitches. I'm sorry. I'm going off.
No, go off.
I warned you.
You said you were.
I mean, look it. I think, and I think Dan's face saying it all, because he's like, yeah. Because you know what? I think we're all there. Billy was there. Dan's there. Mike. We're all there because how much more time? How many more times are we going to be told that it's going to be better now, and they come out and do the exact same bullshit they were doing under. Look at when we got Eberflus, you're like, yay, Matt Nagy and his crappy play calling is gone, and now we're going to get much better at this, that. But you know what? I don't think they changed the fucking playbook.
Hey, I'm going to give you guys a number. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. No, 11.
Oh, yeah.
Packers beat us 11 times in a row.
No, but 9. That's 9. That's
11 since last year.
Yes, 11 straight regular season games we have lost.
9
feels like Packers beat us 11 times in a row.
I mean, look, at the way week 1 looked, we could have the number 1 and the number 2 pick in the NFL draft next year.
No.
Because Carolina looks horrendous.
We got to get at least 7.
But yeah, like I said, it feels. I give him by like maybe what did I say? Week 8, 9. If he's not showing anything, I want Bo Dix. I mean, everybody says Caleb Williams. Everybody says May from North Carolina. Let's get Bo Dix. Let's go.
Yeah, you know, Woody, I mean, I kind of agree with you in a way.
3 years, man. It's not his first year.
It's just another helmet and jersey signed by a Bears quarterback. Maybe that's the problem. Is I've got stuff signed by him. I don't know.
Well, we didn't talk about him, but in the comments, Claypool,
no catches. He had a ball right to him and dropped it.
Yep. Like, what's going on?
I'm like, dude, you look at his highlights in Pittsburgh. He was unstoppable. Yeah. Unstoppable. And what I don't know. Is he trying to, ruin the Bears' season by just fucking dropping passes? It's just terrible how he's playing. I mean, get me started.
I think, you know what, though? I mean, but look, maybe his attitude is a direct reflection of what's going on with the play calling and Fields' inability or to throw the ball more than 3 yards. I mean, look at it. If I was him, I might be that way too. I think if you want to say Claypool plays lazy, DJ Moore's face said the exact same thing. It's Moore's face said the exact same thing as the way some people are saying Claypool played on Sunday.
And
I can't blame them.
And they were saying Claypool was one of the best receivers in preseason.
Yeah.
In training camp. And I was like, all right, now he's going to get his head out of his ass. Well, I guess not. You know what? We might be all exaggerating. It's only week 1. But like I said, division games are big. And the way we played, I don't even think we can beat a high school team last week. And that's my opinion.
I mean, you're not wrong, Woody. I mean, I think there's a lot of things at play. I think that the lack of preseason snaps hurts, right? I think we can all agree on that. 2, whether it's the play calling or the lack of Justin Fields wanting to throw the damn rock more than 2 yards is a problem. 3, when it comes to these high receivers, Claypool's played Moore's look said it all about the trend of this offense right now, right? I mean, look at. I'm going to throw this comment up. Poor blocking. You know what, though? If I'm Claypool at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm a receiver. I'm not here to be a blocker all day. Throw the damn rock. Right. And that's problematic. So, I mean, I don't blame him.
And I want to give props to. Nobody said anything, but Tyler Scott had a good day on special teams as well.
He did. That you know what? Thank you, stud. I completely forgot about Tyler Scott on special teams. That was another stud.
All that bad stuff made you forget, because I did too.
But you know
I'm
what?
Sorry, that's why I'm here to correct you.
Sometimes though, and I get it. They're always looking to break the one. But man, look it. If you're in the end zone, 5 yards deep, just take the ball on the 25. Don't put your team on the 10.
Nope.
I mean, I get it. They got to try. But
you're here special teams. When we played football, what did the special teams coach say? Stay in your lane. And there you go.
There you go. Well, anyone got more thoughts on week 2, or are we kind of we got week 2 here coming up on Sunday, noon Central Time from Tampa, 1 p.m. on you East Coast Standard Time, folks. We've talked a little bit about it. Let's get some predictions. Mike, what's your prediction for the game?
I'd actually want to wait until Sunday.
Yeah, my prediction will be non-bearful.
Okay, we'll do it Sunday. No, hey, all 4 of us are on the morning Sunday, so it makes sense. For those at home, Sunday morning, 11:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern, we'll have our pregame show. Make sure you there'll be a post on the Mike the Bear fan page. Make sure you add your score, because there is a giveaway attached to that. Mike, did we have a winner this last weekend for that?
No, all losers, just like us. We all picked the Bears, so no matter what the score was, we're all losers.
Well, like Ken, what you said, before we get off, the biggest questions, offense, can Justin Fields throw down the field? On defense, how we're going to stop Mike Evans and Chris Godwin? That's my questions and concerns.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there too. Dan, you got anything else?
No.
He's like, no, I got a brand new kitten to go play with, and she does look adorable. Enjoy that little bundle of love there.
I would like just to add, this Sunday during the show, we are doing the free giveaway for last month's top fan for Mike the Bear fan. It's starting again this month. I will post that either tonight or tomorrow and get that rolling.
And Mike will come out personally and give you your gift, even though if you live in California or Hawaii.
If they're close, I will for sure.
Hey, yeah, and that's it. That's right. This Sunday will be for last month. We were gonna do it tonight, but we had a little snafu in the I left stuff at home department.
Hey, I'll admit it, man. I was rushed. I worked later than I should have, and I totally forgot it.
But it is coming. Hey, this is something new we're doing this year. So, hey, I think we're still working on the phone line for at some point this season as well, right? Are we still working that, Mike?
Yep.
So
yeah, and to who's watching, you can ask us questions. I know we got all these comments and stuff. Please feel free to ask questions. We like to answer the questions and go off like I do.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got parts of the show, if you guys haven't kind of figured it out yet, between last year and this year. And obviously this year we've changed our format a touch. Look, we have our program stuff, but I get to a point where I get off the script and just go straight to the comments and just see what you guys are saying. And you see, you guys, we're putting them, we're doing this, we're putting them up. So please leave your comments. Love to be interactive with you guys. Don't forget also, we've got the Frozen Tundra Network guys. Thank them for coming up tonight. They're on Fridays, 7 Central. The Lions guys over at 365, their show. Mike, what day is their solo show on? Are they doing Monday still?
I think they're switching to Tuesdays now.
Oh, boy.
Okay, they're going to be Tuesdays along with Valhalla Report. Interesting. Monday night, we had the open mic, NFC North open mic with 365 main event 365 guys. So come join then. Look, guys, it's week one.
Every day, Russell does on my page. He talks football every day at 11 a.m.
And sometimes I show up.
Sometimes I show up if I actually wake up that early. I'm retired.
Retired life must suck.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's terrible.
I've already been to work for 4 hours, so I wish I could jump on.
Hey, Mike will retire soon, too.
Hey, at least Woody and I had some good soccer games to watch during the international break.
Go Italy.
And we get some Bundesliga and La Liga and everything else back Monday, right? The international break's over, so we'll get some good soccer in there, as you can see with the Bayern Munich, Mia Samia. Come on, Mike the Bear fan page. Give us comments, post. Same thing with the Halas Hall Report. Share, tell your friends. We've been doing this now I thought this was season 6.
It was 5.
Season 5.
I'm old, what can I say? Hey, come and join us every week. We'll see you guys this Sunday, though, 11:30 Central for pregame, and then the game. I'll explain now how it's going to work. We're going to do our pregame at 11:30. We will go off air for literally probably 30 seconds to a minute, and then there'll be a new link, a new live will be started for the game, because after the game that stream will be.
Should I watch with you guys? I can when you see me punching the wall, then Bears did a bad play.
And look, especially if you're out of market, it's a great time. Lots of comments, we go back and forth. This Sunday, thank you to all the guys who stuck around. There were quite a few that stuck around to the final snap and embraced the suck with us. We appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys this Sunday. Let's hope that we don't have any more injuries. Besides, we didn't talk about it much. Besides the Gordon injury, we'll talk about that more Sunday in the injury report. Until then, everyone else, enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe and bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Bear down.
He was able to read the defense. He was able to call that little small audible.
His throwing is much improved over the season.
I'm over here in the south side of Chicago, 35th and Damon, doing my veterans tailgate today, baby. This is all about the veterans.
Defensive line's got to get better.
We got a good tight end. That's all you got to do is play to the kid's strength.
Bears 24-21.
Offense looked good.
Glad for everybody to make it. Bear down, and hopefully I'll see everybody next week.